Alright, hi everyone, my name is Kevin1322 from Candle Power Forums, and today is the 18th of September 2015, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Vin's version of the TK75 2015 version, or Q for quad. A lot of buzz on this light, so we'll see if I can't cover some questions and things that people are answering. One nice surprise that I got on this light, my first nice surprise actually, was this case. I didn't realize it came with a case. Fold flat handle, pretty sturdy, should protect it pretty well. I may not always carry the light in this case, but it's nice. It's nice to have. Obviously, it's going to come with the light, comes with the strap. You've seen the strap, I'm not going to show you that. O-rings and lanyard. I already have Vin's card in there already. I asked him, or paid to have him measure the highest level, and so this is pushing 5,000 out the front lumens, which is absolutely amazing. And this has 355K lux, so certainly a powerhouse, big performer. Another nice thing about this case is that you can actually put some extra batteries in here. It's got 4 battery slots, so 4 batteries can go in here pretty easily. They don't come out the easiest, but they fit, and they are definitely made for batteries. So nice touch. Definitely do appreciate that. Now, another surprise with this light is I have stayed away from the TK75 for the longest time just because I thought it was such a huge light. I don't like big lights. That's just my personal preference. Well, actually, it doesn't seem to be as big as I thought it is. So everyone knows the K40. You can see it's just a tiny bit longer, but it's about the same. Obviously, it's going to have a smaller head. Bodies, a little bit thinner. It's 3 18650 versus 4. My favorite, the Sunbeam X40. Again, smaller head and smaller body. By the way, same size. By the way, the handle is not part of the X40. It's actually a night core handle that I bought separate and put on this light. For large lights, I just prefer handles. That's how I am. Now here's the 9i40. We're also going to be doing beam shots with this too later on. You see, this one is definitely shorter. It is also a 4x18650 light, and a tiny bit skinnier, but not too much difference for a smaller head. And just for size, very well, this is a 2 AA light, so just going to give you a size difference from there. Now, as far as quality of the light, I'm not real big on the quality of lights. Obviously, everyone likes a quality light, but I'm not into it as much as other people. So if it looks good, it feels good, it is good to me. I have to say though that in holding this light, looking at this light, I can see what other people are talking about with the Phoenix quality. It definitely is up there. Maybe higher than, probably higher, as others said, than a lot of the other quality lights. Now you got a lot of junk lights out there. We're not talking about those, but a lot of the quality lights that are out there, there's just something about this light that it just kind of screams out that it's a very quality light. It's very nice. I like the flat lines and the rectangular lines. Very comfortable to hold, but also very grippy. It's just nice. It looks very nice. As far as the inside with the electronics, I personally don't worry about that too much because you're getting a light from Vin, and Vin's going to take all those connections and electronics, he's going to make them all better. So that's not something I have to worry about per se. I let him do that. But certainly nice quality, beautiful light. A little bit different with the head, but it's very nice. So another thing, I want to talk about the UI. A lot of people are wondering about the UI. I believe it's been answered, but just in case, or just to explain it one more time, this does have Vin's driver, the VNX2. It is meant for one button, but as you can see, there are 2 buttons. So how does that work? Which button does what? They actually do exactly the same thing, and they both work. So this turns it on and off, and this turns it on and off, and this cycles through modes, and this cycles through modes, and you can turn it on with this and turn it off with this, or whatever. It just doesn't matter. They do exactly the same thing, so you don't need to worry about that at all. This is my first light with the VNX with one of Vin's drivers, and I have to say I'm really liking it. Obviously it's going to give more power to these lights, but I really like the versatility of it. For me, for a high power or high lumen light, I want a lot of levels of light, a lot of choices. So I'm on I'm on line 11, which gives me 6 different choices. So I have 1%, 5%, 15%, 50%, 70%, and 100% possibility for this light, which is really nice to have. Now if I'm in a different situation and I want some of the blinking modes, I can change the line pretty easily, and now I have those too, which is really nice. Now I'm not going to show you how to change the line numbers though, because I know Vin's already has a video on that, so I don't want to waste your time. I'll let you do that. I will, however, show you this UI and what I'm using. Again, mine's a line 11. So if you hold down the button, it's going to go to the lowest mode. If you hold it down some more, it'll cycle through. Of course, it's got 6 modes. Push it again, it turns off. Let's go back to low. Okay, turn it again, it's off. If you want to get to the highest mode, or turbo, then you simply push it twice. And boom, you're there. Now by the way, on this one, even if it's on, you push it twice, you're on turbo. So it gets there all the time. Of course, you can also set it up to strobe or many other things. Now it does have mode memory on line 11. So let's say I want to go to the middle somewhere. We'll say there. Alright, and I turn it off. It has mode memory, so when I turn it back on, it's going to that mode. So literally I can get to 3 levels of light from off. I can get to the lowest mode, the highest mode, and one of the middle modes, or any mode that I left off. So that is extremely useful to me. I really, really like that UI. Very nice. Now, we're going to talk about the beam more in video 2, but as you can see, you pull away, it's nice and circular. Come closer, you're going to see that, but you're not going to see that when you're outside. You will definitely see rings in the beam and the petals in the beam. That'll show up more tonight. I was really surprised to see that. There's so much talk about this light and the performance of this light. Nobody ever talks about it's not very nice beam. Now the X40 is one that everybody talked about, the beam, how it had the petals on the beam and it had some rings on it, and it was such an ugly beam. That's about the only downfall of this light that I can find. A lot of people talked about it, but nobody talked about it with this light. So that is a surprise. It's not a huge deal with me, but definitely something I didn't expect, and you should expect. Now with high-powered lights, people are talking about heat. How long can it go on heat? And so I timed it, and I still don't have an answer for you, actually. Yeah, sorry about that. Here's why, though. Here's what I'm saying. When I put this light on turbo, I can run it for 4 minutes and 30 seconds until the head gets uncomfortably hot to hold. Now, you're not going to hold the light there anyway. You're going to hold the light back here. And back here, it's hardly even warm. So there's no heat problem here. If I move my hands here, I'm definitely going to feel the heat. But again, you're not likely going to hold the light like that. It's going to be back here. So what does that tell us? Well, I don't like to run my electronics and my lights really hot. So if the head's really hot, I'm thinking that the electronics are hot. So I'm still not going to go past 4 minutes 30 seconds for me, or at least until that temperature. But that's kind of up to you. But again, just to give you an idea, and again, this is the Q. This is not the Q70, it's the Q. So 4 XML to PDTC, excuse me. So 4 minutes 30 seconds is what I get before the head gets too hot to hold. Handle not hot at all. Now, I was wondering about cases, and actually the case for the K40 that comes with the K40 actually fits just pretty much perfect. So it slides in there, shut, no problem. So you don't have to buy another case if you have a K40. Very nice for that. Another interesting thing, we'll see how this works. I haven't tried it yet, but if you fold that inside, this goes all the way in. And now you can actually use this as a handle for the light. Now I don't know if I'll use it that way. It's an interesting thought. Obviously you can still turn it on by hitting the button, not a big deal there. But it might fall out pretty easy. I don't know. I don't know if I'll use it, but just yet another thought for your information. Now you might have heard me say that my X40 is still my favorite light, and I'll tell you why. It doesn't have the best performance, but it has features on here that I really think Phoenix missed out on. Such a big light, 4 batteries. I don't see why they didn't do it. They have their own reasons, of course, but there are some things I wish they had done. One, for example, again, I like handles on big lights. That's just how I am. This is a Nightcore handle. It fits up to 50 millimeter lights, but Phoenix handle is 52.5 millimeters, so it's not going to fit, nor have I found any handle that will fit on there. So kind of out of luck there, unless I want to make something. This also has a charger. A lot of lights have built-in chargers on them now. Very nice. Instead of pulling out all the batteries out and putting all new ones in, which of course you can, it's not that hard, but it's a little bit of a hassle. With this, I go home at night, end of a shift, whatever, I simply plug it in and it charges. Get up the next morning, several hours later, whatever, and the batteries are charged. Really, really simple, really easy. I don't know why they didn't do it. Another thing about this light I really like is you can see that little LED right there, and that is the battery indicator. If it's green, batteries are good. If it's red, batteries need to be charged. Not very difficult, very simple. The LED light is always on when the light is turned on, so you always know where you are with that. Now this is opposed to this light and some of the others where you've got to look directly at the lights and you got to see if they're blinking, or sometimes you got to count the blinkings or whatever. I don't understand. Just a simple LED right there, plenty of room, charger right there, plenty of room. They didn't do it. So again, just my opinion. Some people would say who cares, they don't care, or it's not a good idea for this light, but that is just, again, my opinion for this light. So that is the TK75vnQ VIN's version, and I will see you on video 2 when we take beam shots of this and also towards the comparison of the other lights. So thank you very much for watching.